Rem knew Maggie personally, and he also experienced the period that Maggie died. And of course he knows Charles very well, and that Charles' children and his children grew up more or less at the same time, at more or less the same age. So Rem was very, very close, and I think when Charles asked him if he was interested in doing a Maggie Center, he said right away, yes, of course. The garden is done by Lily. Lily James, the daughter. Every room encloses a piece of green, either on the outside or on the courtyard. Because we were, of course, also quite interested in creating a view from the pavilion, which is looking away from the hospital. So when you come here after your treatment, you are also, you can, if you sit on the other side, you feel you're in a different world or away from the whole treatment.
People need to have a sense of the natural world and that whole cycle of change and growth, and the fact that everything comes to pass. You know, we've almost forgotten that our life is actually a series of cycles of change, and you get that from the natural world. You get that from being able to connect with the garden, see the leaves come onto the trees and then fall off again, and you get a real sense of permanence, because you think, well, okay, what I look like now might have changed, but it will come back again.
Basically, the program of the building is almost like a house. So we have a few counseling rooms which are at the same time living rooms. So they're used in both ways. Now the idea was here that you could see each other, but there are moments, there are here, for example, the very large sliding doors. You can also close yourself off. So the idea was not that you have like a classic building, all individual rooms, and there are all the rooms are closed, so you have to enter the door and you go into a room. But that is open, but at the same time, so because it's different, because your view has to change, but at the same time you can close some areas off. And you will see we also made, for example, the toilet, the bathroom very large. It's like a room. It's not like so you can sit in the bathroom for a while. Actually, we have 2 bathrooms, and we have a kind of meditation room. These are the only enclosed rooms. So instead of having the view like that, we simply to put a roof light on top, so you have the light, but you cannot be seen. So it's really private. And of course, the idea was to have the rooms like, you know, like overlaid in a plan, without creating corridors, because we're always obsessed with not having corridors. And the terrain is slightly sloped, so it goes a little bit up, so there are little ramps in between. But it was an amazing process, because in a certain way, I think it's the easiest building I ever did. In a way, because
single-story pavilion is like
not only that, but also I think everybody was enthusiastic all the time. So the client, but also the contractors and everybody. So it was extremely easy, and everybody, I don't know, but maybe it was because it was for a good cause, and everybody felt so determined, but everybody wanted to do a good job. And we got this idea of putting, you know, the ceiling inside the concrete and these kind of things, so we had to find a contractor here. And we came across an Irish contractor, and he just was like, oh, no problem, we're making some samples for you of 3 by 3 meters, they weigh a ton. And people did more than they would normally be expected, let's put it that way, and that was quite nice, I think.
And I think what's lovely is the contractors and the builders have maintained that connection to the building, so they've been really helpful in helping us to inhabit the space and start to use it to its full potential.
I think it is very good for an architect to work always on different skills, because I think you cannot do a large building without thinking about a small scale. And I think if you do a small scale building, it forces you to think more about it than when you do a large building. So I think it's a good it's a learning curve you have to do on the site. I think it's important.
Within the first visit of somebody coming to the centre, I can talk to them about, you know, loss and change and how that feels in a way that I couldn't do. And before, when I worked in people's houses, I thought that I was achieving that there because you're in their own environment, so you think, well, they're much more relaxed. But actually, it's much more powerful here, and I think it's because you have the right you have the right tools round about you, you have the right connections being made just by them being in that space, which then allows you to complement that with the support and the information that we can offer people. So I love working in the centre, and I love seeing every day what it can do for people. We talk about the first thing people do when they come in the centre is exhale. They need to be able to get to a point where they think, okay, now's the time that I can have this conversation. I'm in the right place to be able to say, I'm really scared, or I'm really frightened, or I'm not really sure how I'm going to get through the next sort of 6 or 9 months. And the environment that we have is what helps us to get them to exhale, so that we can then sit there with them and have that conversation.